This roadside diner had a dark secret. The owner was known for overcharging customers, but the real trap was his wife, a stunning, seductive woman who lured unsuspecting travelers into the back kitchen. What they didn't know was that once inside, they'd be knocked unconscious with a hammer. Their bodies would then be hung on iron hooks, processed like livestock. Fresh cuts of meat were fed into a grinder, producing a steady stream of perfectly marbled mince. The staff treated it like routine work, like butchering animals during the holidays. Everyone had their role. That meat, it was turned into burgers and sausages, and sold to passing tourists. Because of its rich flavor and unique taste, customers couldn't get enough. Reviews were glowing. No one suspected a thing. One day, a couple stopped by. The man, Mike, was a cop. The moment he stepped in, something felt off. While checking the restroom, he encountered a blood-covered chef holding a cleaver. The guy looked completely unhinged, but Mike brushed it off and returned to his table. His girlfriend, Jenny, was loving the food. Mike, however, had no appetite. Something about the place didn't sit right. At Jenny's insistence, he took a bite of the burger and froze. It was insanely good, juicy, tender, unlike anything he'd ever tasted. But just as he was savoring it, a crazed man suddenly snatched the burger from his hand. Mike stood up, ready to confront him, but before he could act, Jenny moved fast. Within seconds, she knocked the guy to the ground. The man was beaten badly, and soon after, the chef dragged his body away, calmly beginning to dismember it with a sharp boning knife. Later that night, still craving the taste, Mike ordered a sausage. As he was about to eat, he noticed there was no ketchup. He stepped outside to look for some. Meanwhile, Jenny couldn't resist and started eating. When Mike wandered into the kitchen, he noticed a pool of blood on the floor. Hearing footsteps, he quickly hid behind the door. Two people entered, and what he overheard made his stomach turn. They were talking about how all the meat served was human flesh. The owner's wife mentioned that a cop had come into the diner. Worried he might discover the truth, the chef coldly said, "Then we kill him." Mike felt sick. He rushed back to Jenny, told her everything, and both of them nearly threw up in the bathroom. They packed their things immediately, trying to leave, but no one believed their warning. Outside, Jenny discovered their car had been tampered with. It wouldn't start. Before they could fix it, a pickup truck rolled in. The chef had called reinforcements. Cannibal killers. One of them moved like lightning, grabbing Mike and throwing him hard. Mike managed to land on his feet. There were too many enemies. In the chaos, Jenny disappeared. Desperate, Mike ran back into the diner to find her, but was spotted by a massive brute who was literally eating a human hand. The brute roared and slammed Mike against the wall. Thinking fast, Mike grabbed a phone receiver and smashed it into the man's head, then wrapped the cord around his neck, strangling him to death. But before he could catch his breath, another killer attacked, swinging a knife wildly. The attacker slipped and fell straight into the meat grinder. Moments later, fresh ground meat started pouring out. Seeing everything falling apart, the chef panicked and fled in a refrigerated truck with Jenny inside. Mike, injured but determined, managed to hotwire a car using exposed wires and sped off in pursuit. On the empty highway, a high-speed chase began. Inside the freezer truck, Jenny was disoriented, surrounded by frozen corpses. Mike accelerated, pulling up beside the truck. Their eyes met through the windows, tension exploding between them. With a sudden move, Mike overtook the truck and slammed the brakes. The truck skidded violently to a stop. Mike rushed out, opened the back, and found Jenny alive. Relieved, he handcuffed the chef, but Jenny wasn't done. Fueled by rage, she grabbed two iron hooks and drove them straight into the chef's temples. Justice served. With the nightmare finally over, Mike and Jenny got back in their car and continued their journey as if nothing had happened.